Welcome back to Let's Talk Business. I'm your host, James Price, and we're with Johnny Marshall today, aka Bombr Sneakers. Johnny, thanks for having us at your place.
Thank you for being here, bro. Welcome.
Yeah. No, it's really comfy. As anyone over 50, they sit down for more than 5 minutes.
That's it. Shout out.
Not off, bro.
Shout out, my old boy for the lounges there.
Yes. Thanks, Danny. I met Danny. He's a cool dude.
That's it.
Yeah. So you look like a chip off the old father's block, actually.
Just better looking, bro. Yeah.
Possibly.
Nah, I reckon he had it over me when he was younger, man, for sure. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Now, and we might unpack that a bit later on. But look, thanks for having us. It's really cool to.
I've been waiting, man. It's been a minute. I've seen you doing everyone around the area.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah, right. I was on the hit list, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you a story, right? You know, Claremont, where are we?
Claremont Meadows, yeah.
Claremont Meadows, yeah. There's no surprise that I asked where we are because I do the M4 regularly, right? And I see the Kent Road exit. It's usually about 6 o'clock in the morning when I'm going to the gym, and I go off the Kent Road exit.
Yep.
And I know Kent Road, right? But maybe it's my age and stage, but I've never seen until today when the GPS told me Claremont Meadows on the sign.
Yeah.
All those times, hundreds upon hundreds of times, never seen Claremont Meadows. But I'll tell you about another sign. So that was the M4, Great Western Highway. There's one very noticeable sign on the Great Western Highway. Do you know the one I'm referring to?
I do, bro.
Yeah. There's a sign, right? And I know what's on this sign. It's got Warrington.
Yeah.
That way.
Yeah.
And it's got Mount Druitt and St Mary's that way.
Yeah.
And it's also got that mush on it.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
That big head. Bro, you know what? It was funny though because that was just part of my vlog and I just wanted to finish it with something cool and I haven't done film myself doing that. But disclaimer, it's a vinyl sticker. I can remove it. All right. Shout out to the community for loving that sticker. But yeah.
Penrith Council.
Yeah, Penrith Council. I'll sort of trust. Yeah. But yeah, I put it up, bro, and I tweaked the video a little bit. I added in the sound of the car bipping at me, just so I knew it would get people in the first few seconds of that reel. And then I checked it yesterday. Last time we had lunch, I said 1.8. This morning's on 2.4 million views.
2.4 million views.
So I don't need to put another sticker up again.
Over 8,000 likes.
Yeah.
Over nearly 400 comments.
Even you're going viral on it.
Bro, I'm number 3 on the comments, right? I've had 28 likes on my comment. How good is that?
That's so good, eh?
I think that's interesting, you know.
Yeah.
Because JP Business, my firm.
Yep.
We help businesses grow and change, right? So we provide advice on growth strategies, change strategies, how to stand out, how to be different, how to make a sustainable business, right? We value businesses. So we put price tags on businesses.
Yep.
And we also help with transactions, right? So, one of the key things in a business is to be able to stand out. So your brand is different.
Yep.
And I make the analogy between the M4 and Claremont Meadows. I drive past that sign every day, bro.
Yeah.
And I didn't know Claremont Meadows was on the Kent Street exit, or Kent Road exit.
Yeah.
And yet, on the Great Western Highway, which is the track I do going back to Parramatta, I certainly know that song. Right?
It's well widened at the moment.
It's amazing.
How nuts is how powerful social media is as well, eh?
Well, I think it's fascinating, right?
Yeah.
And it's quirky and weird, and hopefully we'll find out why it's quirky and weird.
Yeah, of course.
Why I talk to you, but now I want to do a QC.
Yep.
It's not the Queen's Counsel, by the way.
Yeah.
QC is a quick check.
Yep.
For businesses, quite often we do health checks. Well, I'd like to do a quick check on you, man, before we get going.
Yeah, let's get going.
The answers, no more than 10 words.
Yep.
Right? And I'll be counting because I'm mathematics.
Yeah, right. Well, it's going to be hard because I'm rubbish at maths, but go on then.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you. Cut!
Yeah.
Okay. First question.
Yep.
Fashion leader or fashion follower?
Fashion leader.
Fashion leader.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bombr Sneakers. What age and what sneakers were the first ones you ever had?
24. 5, and LV Vans was my first custom.
LV Vans.
Yeah.
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 Nice. And how many times a day do you clean your teeth?
Twice.
Morning and night?
Yeah, have to.
Yeah?
Yeah, got to have the pearly whites, man. Got to look good when I'm out. I'm a walking advertisement, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. How do you get your protein? Meat, plant?
Meat and supplement.
And supplement.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting down to a meal,
yeah,
and you got potato, veg, meat, which do you tackle first?
Oh, meat for sure, man.
Yeah.
And then the veg can go. I don't want that.
You don't like the veg?
Nah, not unless it's soaked in gravy, bro. But yeah, I'm a steak guy. If I could do, I do want to do that carnivore thing, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you done it or no?
I've committed, but then there's a lot of things happening. I'm like, nah, I want to do this. I want to do this properly. So now I've got the time. I'll do it.
You'd have a crack.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm a meat guy, but I produce it, right? We have cows running around, so
yeah.
You know, I've got steaks in my dreams.
Yeah.
That's interesting, eh? Bombr Sneakers. 3 words that explain the brand.
3 words that.
Only 3 words.
Okay. Creative, ambitious, family.
Family.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. What's your first childhood memory talking about family?
It'd be just my old boy training us.
Danny?
Yeah, big Danny, man. Big geese training us, bro. Like,
does he stand there with a whip?
Fucking, he might as well be.
He seems a mild mannered.
Yeah, it's just those, bro. Those memories, like training, but also we had fun. Like,
yeah,
we had fun. But he also prepared us for life itself, mentally.
Yeah.
He used to just see how far he could push us, and I'd never change it. I'd do it all again, even more. Yeah.
Life itself. One thing you're going to leave life. If you leave life, what are you going to leave? What do you want to leave? One thing.
Legacy.
Maybe a few more words than
that. Okay. Me personally, if I want to leave behind is just, do you want to be business or me personally?
I don't care.
Yeah. Just good memories of looking after people. Yeah. That's what I like doing. Yeah. I like looking after others and helping others. Maybe sometimes too much. But also, yeah, just being a good person.
You got a soft heart.
I do, and then there's the opposite side too. But like, no bullshit. I'll just get shit sorted. I don't care.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, yeah, I've got a big heart to make sure everyone else can be looked after.
10.
Yeah.
Reading, writing, drawing, and adding up. Which comes more natural to you?
Drawing.
Drawing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. But then I'd back that with reading because I love my books.
You like your books?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sport. If you had to pick one sport that you best liked, what would it be?
I think boxing. I think it'd be boxing.
Would it?
Because like I could gas myself up here, and most people know me around there from being a soccer kid growing up.
Yeah.
But I couldn't hack others around me. You know what I mean? Like, I used to always try and lift people and players, and was always naturally the captain of the side. But when Dad put me into boxing at a young age, my whole family pretty much went. I've been doing it ever since. But just being even sparring and all that. Like, I've never had any fights or anything, but the sparring and the stuff I experienced was way more than I was ever going to get from fights.
Yeah.
Especially the boys. Shout out Blacktown PCYC, bro. Rodney, bro. There's some serious sparring sessions there.
I'll take away from that.
Yeah. But that element of like, it's only you and like you versus you.
Yeah, okay.
That I really love that.
So you like that intensity?
Yeah, 100%. I love that. And it's just like your back's against the wall and you have to give everything you got to make sure you don't get dropped here.
Yeah, nice.
And that's how I feel that mentality's transition over to business for me, for sure.
So are you a risk taker or a risk maker?
Risk taker.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. But then again, as soon as I say that, I'm like, I'm a risk maker because at the same time, I don't care about taking losses. It's all lessons.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Talk about lessons.
Yep.
If you went back to the former young guy, when you were, you know, just coming into your teens.
Yep.
And you advised that guy about what you'd learned. What would be one thing you would tell that guy, your former self? Now that you're 31.
Oh, don't remind me, James. Don't remind me, James.
31.
Cut that out. To do business, yeah. Do you want
He's
me to
very
stick to
eligible,
business?
by the way.
Yeah, yeah. That was a bachelor, mate. Business-wise, it would be cash flow and scaling.
Be focused on cash flow.
100%.
And how to scale.
How to scale. Because when I first started, I was spending more than what I was making. But to me, numbers was like, oh, numbers. But then if I broke it down, I didn't know how much I was actually making to spending to getting taxed, you know?
Yeah.
And then just for life itself, it would be, man, I don't know, because I really feel like I've done well. I don't think I have much with life itself, because I think like this is where I've got myself, so I wouldn't want to change
the journey.
Yeah, the journey, just the you know, the
You're
story.
kind of happy with it, yeah?
Exactly, I'm pretty content with that.
Yeah. Speaking about toilet paper.
Yeah.
Are you a folder or a scruncher?
Folder, bro. I'm very articulate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't rush.
There's no one chance where you would have moved?
Maybe when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I'm like all these little small things. I don't know. I don't think it's OCD as such, but like if I showed you my bedroom, how my watches are spaced out, my books are stacked.
Oh, really?
And stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
You'd be like, but then I feel like that adds up to my day, how my day's gonna be. So I can make sure, you know, the bed's made to a certain way. That's clean. That's sorted. We do this. We fold the toilet paper. James, we don't scrunch it. And these add up. These little wins add up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Just how my brain ticks.
No, I like it. I like it.
And then you go into my sock drawer, the whites, the black socks, underpants. It's all fun. I must be Friday, man.
I just got this documentary of Beckham, right?
Yeah.
Because Beckham was very much like that. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they had the drawers and everything was folded.
Yeah.
Very specially.
100%. But I think I have that balance because I'm a creative guy. Yeah. My mind's always going 100 miles an hour. So like this desk rarely looks like this, but I make sure if I finish my day, it's sorted.
Yeah.
So during the day, it's a shit fight. Like just stuff everywhere because that's how my mind's going.
Yeah.
But then to make sure I finish off the day and start, you know, start fresh and new for the next one, make sure it's all sorted. That's my little patterns and cues.
But I think that's important, right? Because you need to be random.
Yep.
And put yourself in vulnerable situations that are perhaps not completely planned, because sometimes you can be the most productive in those situations.
Yep.
But you also, you know, to be effective, you need a method. You need some discipline.
Yes, of course.
So, you know, did boxing teach you that?
100%. I still train every day.
Yeah.
And the people I surround myself now, like I got my close friends like Kyle, Jordan, Nordo, Sony, like them boys all, we bounce off each other. Yeah. So when I'm with like Sony and Kyle, it's all design, creativity, and those boys train hard. Yeah. Like Kyle would be like, you train today? You know, you train today, big boy? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, bro, I train today. Yeah. And like it would be those ones, those mates. Yeah. You know, we're almost like haters on each other, but we're not.
But you're looking after each other.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then like Nordo, my mate Nordo, he works his ass off with business and he's always like hands on and tired, but he'll still be at the gym at 5:30. Really? You know? And then same with my mate, my best mate Jordan. We grew up together, even being creative together, and he debuted for Melbourne Storm, and now he's over at Panthers. Yeah. Nice. So it's just good to have that circle around me.
That circle.
Yeah.
So you know, I was impressed. We talked about your circle when we first met as well.
Yeah.
But the reverse of that is, can you name one time when you've ever felt really alone?
Yeah, I think it was last year. There was a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of. I'm very mentally strong. I've had some circumstances. I lost my mum at a young age. Yeah. And I went through that. Like I wouldn't say I'd done it tough, but some mentally pushed me, you know. Yeah. And then I had a moment where I was like, oh, like I am human, and that was last year. I was like, oh, I'm touchable. I'm not untouchable. Yeah. But at the same time, like. I got through it, to where I am now, and it's like I'm very good at transmuting energy. Yeah. Well, that's how I perceive it anyway. Yeah. You know, so whatever negative, I'm like, nah, stuff this. Like, I'm gonna go again. Let's go again. And I think that stems from the training sessions with my dad or the boxing stuff. You know, back up against the wall. It's either you're going to keep throwing hands, or if you don't stop throwing them, you're going to get knocked out here.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to cop a hiding.
But
that's it.
But it sounds like you found out a bit about yourself.
100%, and that's what it was. Like, I was with a partner at the time, and she was amazing and supportive at the time there, and I would never, say anything bad about her because she backed me there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you still feel lonely because no one gets what's going on inside your head.
Yeah.
And I think it takes, all the people who have gone through and been through it, takes a lot of character to do that, especially when you're trying to make things happen financially or with your business, and then with your life itself and your health and your mental health. Adding all that in, bro, it's like I'm proud of myself for where I am now. Again, going hard.
It's interesting though, isn't it? Like us humans, we've got a lot of complexity we live with, right?
Yeah.
In business and in life generally. And so the more you know yourself and know the people around you, the better you're going to be able to deal with it. Yeah. Speaking about humans, extraterrestrial beings, do you believe in them?
I believe in God. I'm a Catholic. I raised as a Catholic boy, and also I believe in spiritual energy, that universal energy.
Yeah.
So I'm more like, I pray every day.
Yeah.
I believe in that. I pray for my friends and family every day. I've started to go back to church and stuff like that because I feel like faith for me is a strong backbone that I need.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I believe in like energy and attracting energy. Like for us meeting, for instance.
Yeah.
I needed you in my life because I feel like in the future, you'll be helping me. Like that's how my.
Yeah.
But then I'll be able to give back somehow as well.
So do you feel things happen for a reason?
110%. 110%. But then I feel like God's given us a beautiful mind and creative mind to be able to make your destiny.
Yeah.
Hence journaling and manifesting and making all that stuff happening. I believe in that 110%.
Yeah, neat.
Yeah, because if I showed you things in my phone that I wrote in 2019, they all happened. You know, like they all happened. Selling out 80 pairs in 3 minutes. Me and Nick at Starbucks, bro. Like he pressed the thing, the website almost crashed.
That's amazing.
We made all that happen, you know. So yeah.
Does that ever put pressure on you though, bro?
What's that?
Like making those goals, right? Does it, or do you need that? Is that part of?
I think that lights the fire, eh? Like, It lights the fire. I know, like even talking about it now, like I get like chills because I feel like I've been put on this earth to be one of the greats, and that's how my dad's raised me. And it's not trying to be a cocky or a dick about it.
No.
But I need to have that mentality. Otherwise, what's the point of living?
Yeah.
And I feel like even let's just say even in the dating scene, like if I'm dating a woman, and respect to them because they grow up wanting that stability and having that guy that's going to give them a family, where I would rather make a legacy first for my I'm thinking about grandkids and kids.
Yeah.
So that's my drive.
That's your focus.
Yeah, that's my main focus because, my mum and dad didn't raise a quitter, and I want to make things happen. So in a way, it does put pressure on myself. But that's what I said to you. I used to do the age thing. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So I used to go, by the time I'm this, I want to do this. But now I'm like, nah, that's take the pressure off. There's no age.
Yeah.
You know, look how many billionaires and millionaires were made in their 30s.
Yeah.
In their 40s.
That's
you
right.
read them all the time.
Well, I think age can be a real barrier.
100%.
Old age and young age.
Yep.
And why should it be a determinant?
Yeah.
Right. Like, the world's got plenty of opportunities to get experience at any age. I guess it's how we take on that experience.
Yep.
And use it, in terms of our value set and what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
If you're looking at a double bed, which side do you get in?
Left side?
Oh, hold on.
Wait.
You got on the right side.
Left side, right side? I don't know
No,
why.
if you're looking at it.
I just think about which side am I spooning on. If I've got a Sheila, what side am I going to spoon away? So I'm thinking, left side, I think.
Yeah, you sure?
No, actually, no, tell a lie. Right side. Right side, brother, right side.
Oh, right side. That's your best side. Yeah, that's why you sit in that chair, bro.
Yeah, that's it. That's the best.
Hey, think about sport.
Yeah.
Think about design. Think about fashion. Think about art. Think about theatre. Think about digital games.
Yep.
What's your preference?
Oh, man, I love it all across the board because if you gave me an actor and you gave me a little bit of the story, I could tell you what movie that is because I love film. That's what Nicky used to joke to me about. He's like, bro, you're like, in a way, you're on the spectrum for that because I could name, you know, go, this actor, this is the scene, bang, I'll get it.
Yeah.
But then I love my digital games too, bro.
Do you?
I love it.
Yeah, right.
Like I don't, not anymore, but I reckon theatre or, you know, cinema because I appreciate the story.
Yeah, okay.
And then, in a way, like, I don't play as much, but when I was younger, I used to play digital games.
Yeah.
Was a little bit of an escape, but at the same time, you appreciate the creativity made in a game.
Yeah.
That's why my mind ticks like that.
It's very interesting mind,
Yeah.
eh?
But also, I'm competitive. So if we're playing like FIFA or soccer or something on here, I'm winning.
Yeah.
So maybe that all adds in.
Speaking about soccer,
yep.
This is probably the last question.
Yep.
But and you're going all right in QC. The quick check. Have you got a favourite team in the Premier League?
Look, I have a favourite team, Arsenal.
Arsenal.
They're my team. They keep coming up short, but second again.
They do. Yeah.
So
what about the European?
I appreciate Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
Because growing up they had the Galacticos.
Yeah.
Beckham, Roberto Carlos, Ronaldo, and that.
Pretty cool story.
It was so cool, like watching them.
It was amazing.
Yeah, and my dad's got all the signed jerseys still, so it's like reminiscing about that and watching them play. It was mad.
There's a bit of an English accent come out when you just.
Oh yeah, it's probably Geezer hanging out.
Dad.
Yeah,
he's talking probably lurking around there somewhere.
100%.
What about Australian? Who do you follow in the?
I don't, man.
You don't?
I don't because I feel like they've let the country down. Yeah.
Why?
They haven't given it enough culture.
Mm-hmm.
When we had culture in this country, bro, the NSL back in the day. Like me growing up, being at the games, like I said, I can't wait to play for one of these teams.
But it hasn't got the same.
Nope. They've taken the culture out and now it's gone to shit. So, I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's more of a moneymaker for the FFA or whatever. But
is it just being too heavily administrated?
I think so, man. I think so. Like, you see it. There's no atmosphere at the games anymore.
See, it's interesting. You know, if I put an analogy to that with business.
Yeah.
Right? You know, often as businesses get bigger and more complex, right?
Yeah.
We're forced as business owners
Yeah.
to administer our business very disciplined like, right? So we have all these systems and including AI and things, which make things very, very templated. And that's part of being able to scale because your system allows for increased volume. But it's a bit of a tricky one because sometimes that administration, that discipline, and that structure can remove what's special about the business.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? So, you know, as a business owner, I think to be successful, you've always got to manage that conflict.
Yep.
Because, you know, you can have everything tickety-boo and running along and administered terrifically, you're paying your bills, you're getting money in, but are you going to be a sustainable business? Is there something different that you're doing different that's going to make you sustainable against others in the market, right? And it doesn't necessarily come from straight vanilla administration. So there's an analogy for you, mate.
Yeah, I like that.
But you know,
but it's so true.
Well, I think it is.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, I want to tease out, like, in that sense, what your point of difference is, Bombr Sneakers, as you are today.
Yeah.
What is it, do you think? Why do people look at that sign and know what it's about?
Yeah.
You know, what's different about it? What's different about that?
I feel like it's just because I'm doing something out of the norm. Like every brand, advertising and that's all the same stuff. But I grew up as a graffiti kid, you know, being on the streets and like your thing growing up was how many times you get your name seen.
Yeah.
And for me, I was like, why don't I just take that into business and do it? But there's been brands like Obey, Shepard Fairey, that took it by storm in the US, Banksy, like.
Yeah.
That's where I get my inspiration from.
I was going to ask you, do you get a bit of inspiration from Banksy?
110%. 110%. And even Shepard Fairey, I've got a couple of his books just one's there. It's called supply and demand.
Yeah.
And he talks about phenomenology, and it's about seeing a logo X amount of times to the point where the customer or the consumer feels like they're a part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why, like, if you saw a Bombr sticker on a sign, you're not looking at the street. You're looking at the Bombr sticker because they've never seen that on a sign.
No, that's right.
So that's what I feel like. But then they see that, and usually the first thing someone says to me is not about my sneakers. They're like, I see your logo everywhere. Because for me, that means more than selling a shoe. Because that they're going to remember that for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I think. All this stuff that's happening now with the customs, and obviously speaking about my next ventures and that.
Yeah.
They're still going to feel connected to my brand because of all these little scenarios or scenes that have happened with them personally.
Yeah.
I'm not just a custom sneaker guy. I'm making a culture within that.
So it's a culture of intrigue, is it?
Yeah, I feel so.
Yeah.
And being different.
Yeah.
Being different. I want to say being a rebel because I'm not graffitiing anymore, but
you were a rebel.
Yeah.
So, I kick around Emu Pains and, I understand you kicked around there a fair bit and other places around this hood, putting beautiful art on walls and stuff.
That's it. Yeah, I used to have a brand called Knack back in the day, and that was just a young thing. Me and my brother started together, and we used to put up paste ups because of Shepherd Ferry. Yeah. I was like, well, if he can do it, we can do it. Let's do it. I remember going to the library, printing off massive artworks, and just pasting them up everywhere because I knew if I got caught, all I could do is just take it off. Yeah. And I'd be sweet. Yeah. Especially, like, my dad actually supported it, to be fair. He's like, yeah, if you can do that and then you sell shirts and something, do it. Yeah. But then I learned from that that's only gets you so far. Then social media, then you got to get your numbers in, then you get your product, make sure your product's good to match that. Yeah. And all these little things. So, but yeah, I even took stuff from Knack. That's hence why I do the stickers. Yeah. It's because of Knack. Yeah. You know, I still see Knack stickers up to this day, and that was like 15 years ago. Yeah. So like, yeah, now I've transitioned into Bombr. I was like, why don't I just do that and be a free advertisement for me and also make people feel connected to my logo and my brand. Yeah. You know? So
when you put that logo together, right?
Yep.
Because you're a designer, effectively. Is that what you call yourself, if nothing else?
I feel like it's the best way to describe myself because, if anything, that's what I want to be. Yeah. So I'm just putting it out there that, I'm a designer because I do design stuff and I'm always drawing and making things happen. And then one day I'll be fully designing and making my shoes. Yeah. You know, so sorry if someone else will be making my shoes, but I'll be designing. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. So the design is the core strength, I guess.
Yes, sure.
But what your plans are is to, and you're on that business journey now, but is to broaden that out to a point where the design, the product you deliver, resembles the design fully.
Yep, 100%.
So what were you thinking when you put that together?
Well, funny enough, that's actually comes from a Biggie Smalls animation, and I just took the eyes out. I changed the ears and stuff, so I don't want to get copyrighted. Yeah. But the lips were almost as big enough, bro.
Yeah. Where did those? So I feel like you put my lips on there. Bro.
Almost as big. I've heard a few times, like in my family, because my background's Jamaican, like dad's half Jamaican as well. And he goes, man, you just got the Jamaican lips. And that's what he always says. So I said, the only thing that's close to it is the beard and lips. So I'll just chuck that on there and it's got the B. But I remember designing that. I'm like, it just came to me. I read a chapter in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And he talked about blank piece of paper and just write. And that's what I done. I wrote all these things. And the logo was number one. But I'm like, logo equals me. Like, that's what I wanted to make it. Right. And then somehow it just flowed to me. I just looked around, found references, and then made my logo off those references. And I was like, this is done. It was one take. I didn't have to change it. Yeah. I just made it once, and that was it.
So a logo equals me.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a numbers person, and I value businesses. And often the very most successful businesses are very dependent on individuals, on their owners. But they can be some of the most successful businesses. But equally, they can be businesses that are valued very lowly in terms of their ability to be sold for dollars, right? Yep. Because they're so dependent on an individual. Yep. And an individual can get run over by a bus in Penrith, in High Street.
Yep.
So, in terms of where you are in business now, how dependent is the business on you, and is that's by design, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
By definition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Well, basically, I do everything. Like social media wise, I get the boys to help me. Obviously, Nico started with me, and I've got J-Mac now.
Yeah.
But even if it wasn't for them boys at the start, like, I wouldn't be here. I always give them that prop no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, so like, yeah, big ups to Nico and that. Back in the day, bro, we killed it.
Yeah. Amazing.
And that's what made me pop initially.
Yeah.
But then as the young'uns, everyone gets busy. So now, like, the young'uns now, like J-Mac and stuff, they're good enough for me to use.
Jamal, he's a dangerous videographer.
Yeah, he's very good.
He's a very dangerous fella.
So like,
he's good.
If it's to do with that, even I'll like mock up my videos and that if I've got something I need to post, I'll just do it. But yeah, basically, if it's not that, it's just me.
Yeah.
Creating,
yeah.
designing, making things happen. But like I said to you, there's the next step, which I'm happy to talk about.
Yeah.
The next step is to get where I have a team and I have a warehouse and I have a design crew, and that's how I picture in my head.
You're looking with that team and warehouse and scale.
Yeah.
To develop a product range.
Yeah, product range for sure.
Yeah. Over and above your customs.
Yeah. So I knew that customs has a lifespan because it's new and refreshing. People love it. Hence why sales were through the roof. Yeah. You know, and they still are. They're still good. But like I said, there are times when you can see the difference. You know, like groceries are costing people $300.
Yeah.
So so I get that, but I'm still grateful for the sales that I'm making, which are still good. But then at the same time, I know how trends work. And I've got like even Kyle, who runs the brand Setter, this hat I'm wearing now. He knows the trends, so I'll ask him and I'll pick his brain, and then I know that this is almost up, but then I can tweak it and always make money somehow.
Yeah.
But to make my own product is more beneficial for me, creative wise and also financially.
Yeah.
Not that I think about the money, because I know the money will come. But I just want to make sure that I'm doing all I learnt with customs and stuff like that. I want to make sure my product is the best product you can receive.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's a few things I want to talk about there. It's like a feast.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's go to the food bit, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned groceries, $300.
Yeah.
Or so do I buy the groceries or do I buy a set of customs? If I buy a set of customs, what do I feel?
You gotta. Do you want me to answer that for you?
Yeah.
Because like in my head, I can get that straight away. I explain to people. Obviously, there's people that do what I do now, but they're not. Respectfully, they're not me. They're not my brand. They're not the logo. They're not the culture that I've made. What I put across to the consumer is that my product is a custom-made piece personally for you. So when you wear this product, you know that there's only X amount of pairs worldwide.
Yeah.
I was the first to make a Burberry TN, and that went stupid viral on social media. You know, I wish I sold 100, but I only sold 10.
Yeah.
That's all I could make.
Yeah.
But that 10, you're the only 10 people in the world that is wearing that custom sneaker personally made for you. And that's what I get out of it.
So I feel special. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's almost like a well, maybe it is a collector's item.
Yeah, for sure it is. Yeah, 110%.
Do I wear it very often?
Nah, a lot of people go, I'm scared to wear them. I'm like, no, just wear them. Just wear them. You're a customer now, I'll look after you somehow. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of people do say that. They're like, I'm scared to wear it. I'm like, no, wear it.
Yeah.
Worst case, we'll sort out another thing. We'll make it happen. But
yeah,
that's how I picture it for the customer.
Yeah.
They're getting a one-of-one item, never to be made again, worldwide.
See, just to extend that, I mean, we were having a chat last week in Percy Plunkett's. Shout out to Phil.
Shout out Phil. What a feed.
What a place.
Yeah, love that place.
I mean, Penrith very, very fortunate to have a place like that.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how everything in the apparel world is sort of a commodity. Everything sort of in that middle market seems to be same. So in a way, these products, these customs, they stand above simply because the rest is very similar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make it easy to position them in the market, do you think?
I think in a way, yeah, because like you said, they're like a collector's item. So people go for a difference these days, even when they're collecting Travis Scott's or Sakai's or who else. There's a few other like collectible items. They get mainly real sneakerheads will go for that.
Yeah.
Normal day-to-day person will look at that and go, I could go one of those. So it's just like it rubs off on them.
Yeah.
So I think so. Yeah, I think so.
But we were talking about demographics, and we said 18 to 35 roughly, didn't we?
Yeah.
So does that count me out? I'm never going to buy one.
No. We told you the samples that are coming, bro. Soon you're going to have to wear one for me.
I turned 36, by the way.
Yeah, all good. Yeah.
Now, I want to go, like, I was just still having this feast, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about logos and brands.
Yeah.
And, one of the things that seems to be emerging is that logos and brands they aren't just flat pieces of, drawing on a page. They have smell, they have taste, they conjure up all sorts of emotions.
Yep.
The good ones.
Yep.
Right? And they're lively, they're action, there's a lot, in a successful logo and brand, there's a lot more there than we ever used to think about it.
Yeah.
We used to think about it as brochureware, basically.
Yeah.
And, logo equals me. Like I genuinely believe, right, having seen the Warrington sign and then having met you, that, that logo, there's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
So I think it's really interesting what you're doing with that.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And I think, watch this space, because you add an original product range. If you're able to keep the me but extend the range, it's kind of interesting,
yeah? Yeah, that's the next step, So
yeah.
Well, hopefully this next step that I could do it right, and I've got the right people around me now. Now I've met you as well. Just some insight to business, so I hope I can do it properly.
Well, it's always tricky, right? It's always tricky to go through the process of, and sometimes this is used as a derogative word, but it's not in this context, but to go through the process of a hobby through to a fledgling business, through to a full-on business.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And, one of the great things about that journey is, and you're a walking billboard of it, is passion.
Yep.
Right? Because you can see, without even asking you, you're doing what you love.
Yeah.
Right? But it's that fledgling business stage through to the next stage of growth and development that is sometimes very difficult.
Yeah.
And it's all about systems, scale, where do I invest, cash flow, how do I get volume, how do I ensure quality's right, how do I extend to the market, how do I make a decent margin.
Yeah.
Often businesses are going through that stage, from my experience, not having high profile.
Yeah, right.
Right? Not having a known brand. They're still building it. The intriguing, aspect of where you're at is that, and social media's helped this obviously, but at the end of the day, it's by your design.
Yeah.
Is that you got a really well-known, strong brand that's building, right? So the trick is, how do you leverage that?
Exactly. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Archibald Prize.
Oh yeah.
do you? I'm a bit of an art freak, right? Like I like the Archibald.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I like going every year, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you ask me why. I wouldn't be able to tell you. Just I like it. I like any art.
Yeah.
I understand that you did something with the Archibald way back.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. When I was doing the knack stuff.
Tell us about that.
So I'll tell you the backstory how I got there.
Yeah.
So I was painting with my dad. I was a tradie back in the day, and then we painted a guy's house in Mossman. His name was Brett Whitford.
Yeah.
Hopefully he sees this, Brett. Give us a sponsor, brother. But yeah, he's a really, really top bloke, very knowledgeable, successful as.
Mm-hmm.
And he found out that I was into art and into street art and stuff. So we got in chatting, and he goes, "Oh, like I want to help you," which he did. He helped me heaps.
Yeah.
got me a sit down with the Bolt Report, Mark Latham.
Yeah.
And Mark Latham was in the news for just being a bit red-eye and outspoken, which I loved.
Yeah,
like, he didn't care.
He's rubbed a lot of people up the wrong way.
That's it. So I thought, like, if I was in his position, I'd be very similar. So I had that, that relationship straight away. So, yeah, I'd done an artwork with him, which was called The Unmasking of the Latham. And I got him to hold a Hannibal Lecter mask, and I drew that with charcoal. And also the background was oil paints.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we put that in, and basically what the Archibald is there's all these artists, they put in portraits of well-known people.
Yes.
And then they get picked, the winner gets $100,000. Their problem was that they full snubbed the Mark Latham painting.
Really?
It was good. It was better, and then they brought it up on the Bolt Report on Sky News, explaining that look at this artwork compared to these.
Wow.
So why didn't this get chosen? Is it because it's a kid from Western Sydney? Or is it because
they shunned the West?
Yeah, or it's like, you don't like Mark Latham.
Yeah.
So it ended up being a cool little story. It's a shame back then I didn't know how to leverage that with the brand that I was doing.
How old were you?
I think I was 20.
Yeah.
I was 20, 21.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt the flow.
No, you're right, man. But yeah, I think I was young, so I just didn't know how to leverage it.
Yeah.
But yeah, even to this day, I'm so grateful because it's just a cool story to tell. I was on Sky News with balaclava on and that,
So you had a balaclava on.
Yeah, so no one knew it was me.
So was that the sort of, Johnny, I got to be intriguing here. I don't want to let on everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I was like, nah, I want to be different, I want people to go like, oh, well, you do that? Are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that was a good experience, and it's funny. I seen randomly, I think it was about 2 years ago. I was in Camden because Mark lives out those ways, and I was walking past a cafe and he's going, knack. I'm thinking, knack.
What's going on?
Knack, and I forgot that used to be me, But yeah, and I was like, oh, Mark, and I saw him, so he still remembers it, and it's just a cool story to tell.
That's lovely. If you had a chance to paint it in the Archibald again, who would you paint?
That's an interesting one. I think it'd have to be one of the boys from the area,
Yeah.
One of the footy boys.
Yeah.
Just doing well in that. I don't know. It'd be one of the Penrith boys, one of them.
Yeah.
Don't know who exactly because I don't want to hurt feelings and have favourites, but...
Oh, we put pressure on
yeah. I should just say Tyrone Peachy,
Tyrone Peachy.
There we go,
well, watch out for the next podcast, Tyrone. You're in the gun, man.
That's it.
He's going to get his drawing out.
But yeah, we probably one of the Penrith boys because they inspire a lot of us and what they've done, especially the last 3 years. Like winning those back-to-back premierships, coming from nothing. Like the boys,
how have they done that?
Man, I reckon it goes back to culture. I hear it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about Ivan's made a culture there,
Yeah.
and even when you're at the games, the vibe there is purely because of the culture and their work rate and how they do that and how they hold themselves, and even the cockiness. Like that's all of us coming from Western Sydney. We're cocky and arrogant in a way, but at the same time, we have that sense of humility and we'll give back and we do love and care.
Yeah.
But all those like secret herbs and spices put together makes makes like a team like Penrith Panthers, So I reckon the core of it is definitely just culture, man.
Yeah, I love that, and I think your herbs and spices and the way you put it is really neat.
Yep.
And my listeners and viewers on this podcast will know that I often talk about culture.
Yeah.
And I think the three repeat and what Penrith have done and what the team and the community have done here is a great example of any business. If you want to be so successful ahead of your competitors and have a sustainable business, then you can't go past making sure your team learns from the lessons of that footy team.
Yep.
In terms of culture.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Because it's the X factor in a lot of businesses, right? It's not how well you collect your money and pay your money, and all that is important, but team culture's absolutely key.
Yeah. And you could bring that even into, like you're saying, I'm sure you have that sense of culture within your team,
Well, I'm developing it, right? And it's tricky.
Yeah.
Right? But I think part of it is you sort of touched on it in a different way. It's the cockiness, and in that sense, the individualism that each person is a person, and so they're good at some stuff and bad at other stuff.
They bring their strengths and their weaknesses, but it balances out.
Correct, but it's the team being able to, participate in that, right, and work as a team, but then let people shine as well.
Yeah.
But know that I need to be behind them, supporting them in here because there's a bit of an area that's not so good there.
Yeah.
So that in business and in a sporting team like they've done over here is amazing. It's really neat to see. So maybe we'll see an Archibald for one of those.
I reckon I'll bring it back. It's the Bombr.
Hey, how
Bombr
good?
Archibald. Yeah, I reckon I should.
It's about time, right?
Yeah, there's a good mate of mine who's honestly one of the most talented graffiti artists around, and he goes by the name of Riots. And it was like, even when I still remember like being at, we used to go to a certain spot which was hidden and away from everything. But I remember like back in the day, you had to ring Riots and go, "Oh man, am I sweet to go over your piece?" Because he was like one of the best. Like, yeah, sweet. But now we're good mates, and I was always younger than him. But yeah, he's always like saying, and he said a couple of years ago, it was like doing the Archibald stuff. He's like, you should jump back on it, do something, man, because he's done it a few times, and he's very talented.
Yeah.
So yeah, he actually mentioned that a couple of years back to just, you should have a crack, and I'm thinking, why not?
Yeah.
Just another point of contact. If there's a Bombr artwork up there, why not?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm all about, James. Is like that 7 points of contact. How many times can I get spoken about or seen to bring back to my brand and culture?
Yeah.
Hence why I introduce myself as Bombr. Some people find that, this is cocky, arrogant. But I do it because you're going to go, what the hell? Your name's Bombr. I'm like, yeah, my name's Bombr. And at the same time, you're going to go home and tell someone you met a guy called Bombr. Somehow that's going to go back around to that family chat, somehow back to my brand.
Yeah.
That's a point of contact. And then you got the stickers, then you have the podcast, then you have all these other things that happen, the shoes.
Yeah.
All comes back to the brand and culture for me.
See, it's interesting. It's all about connections.
Yeah.
And I mean, I often boast to my team that because of my age and stage, if client gives me a call and says, "James, do you know someone that can do some graffiti art for me?" For instance.
Yeah.
Give me 48 hours, just because my brain's a bit slower these days. But in my connections, in my network, I will be able to come up with at least 2 people I know.
Yeah.
Right. Fortunately, I met you, right?
Yeah.
But the point is that I think today a lot of the 20-somethings that are being brought up, that there's a lot more important things than making a connection, building a network.
Yep.
Right. And to an extent, there's a bad side of social media because it tends to put sometimes it can put a bit of a barrier in place. But there's no more important thing in business than reaching out and establishing those connections.
Yeah, for sure.
And sometimes you've just got to be patient about it, because I think people think, oh I'm not going to make a connection unless I need the person.
Mm.
Well, that's not how you should be making connections.
No.
You might need that person one day.
Exactly.
But just make the connection, let it happen, and see what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
And then when you get the call, and I need someone, blah 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 blah, invariably you'll be able to call on your network.
Yeah, I feel like I said, go back to the energy stuff. You attract what you're supposed to anyway.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't be like back up against the wall and go, I'm not sure about this guy, because I guarantee you,
you never know,
help each
right?
other. One time down the road, you will.
So, I mean, you have got you talk about your network, your close network, right? Has that stayed sort of constant over the years, from say your teens to now?
No. I was more of a lone wolf.
Yeah.
Like I never used to have. I used to maybe have 2 mates, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because not so much there's trust or anything to do with that. It was just like, yeah, man, I have what I got, and that's enough for me. But then at the same time, it was negative because there's so many other great opportunities and people I could open up to and connect with that could have helped me maybe with this knack stuff or whatever I was doing, you know. So now it's a bit different. I talk to everyone and I ask questions like I am the dumbest person in the room. Like I'll ask you questions, you know, just because I can get something from you. Not that I'm trying to, but I want to learn.
Yeah. Well, you never know when you might need it.
Exactly. And you could tell me something that could go with me for the rest of my life. Yeah. And I've done it plenty of times. Like, I come across confident and social, which I am, but like my dad said to you, I never used to be like that as a young kid.
So Danny said that, right?
Yeah.
Like he said, this kid, he was the most unconfident dude around.
Yeah.
Right. So how did that change?
Put myself in vulnerable positions on purpose. I purposely put myself and make myself feel uncomfortable to get to the stage where I'm like, oh, this is all good. Sweet.
But was that hard? Like walking on a fire, so to speak?
Yeah, exactly. It was, man. It was 110%. But even going back to, my dad was talking about he used to make me like juggle the soccer ball and do my tricks.
Yeah.
At a train station in Rome with hundreds of thousands of people. None of those people gave a shit.
Yeah.
But in my head, everyone's watching me.
They were
oh
watching.
My gosh, like what do I do?
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that taught me. And then it was like even talking to people. Go talk to that person, see how you are, how you hold yourself, be confident, don't break eye contact.
Yeah.
All these things I used to try and do to the point where now it's nothing. I literally say to people, I don't ever feel awkward. I don't get nervous.
No.
Nervous to the extent that like, oh my gosh, I can't go out. I did to get the butterflies.
Yeah, sure.
But I don't get nervous and I don't hesitate on things. I feel like I'm pretty confident and content with my life and I just don't give a shit.
I think, you know, you do come across very self-aware, right? And if I look at business owners that are they're professionals of what they do.
Yeah.
In running their businesses, but also running their teams, they know some things better than anyone else. In terms of the expertise they have in their particular business, right?
Yeah.
But equally as important, they know what they don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that sounds really simple, right? But I think, I see it with my own team and reflect back in the day with myself, there's this inertia about asking a question, looking dumb.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's partly, you know, we're all used to sitting in a classroom and, you know, people laughing at us if we answer with the wrong answer.
That was me as a kid.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. And so it really has a huge impact, a negative impact on our, you know, this is a very business way of looking at productivity.
Yep.
Right. But also it can stuff with relationships and all sorts of things because you're giving the wrong signals, right? Or you're not communicating when you should be. But once you figure out that there's no problem in asking a question.
Nah, man.
And nothing is too dumb.
Exactly.
And, you know, once you get over that as a business owner, that is such a strong skill in my view.
Yep.
You know? Vulnerability is an amazing thing. But particularly if you can then use it as a strength.
Yep.
So we talked a lot about Danny, your dad. What's he given you that you would otherwise have not got?
Well, definitely confidence and backing myself. That was a major thing. In a way, showing that I am different to other people, even though like I probably might not be, but he gave me that self-confidence to go, you've been put on this earth to be something, so go do it. Don't quit. Yeah. Definitely the no quit attitude.
Yeah.
Also the hustle no matter what. Like you got to make money, you got to hustle. But mainly just to do with me, is to back yourself, and no matter what, just know that he's going to be there to support me whatever I do.
Yeah.
That's why I got that confidence from him. Also, don't get me wrong, I had to sometimes convince him and show him what I do, but yeah, he's got this saying that I could fall in a pile of shit, come smell that roses. I'm always going to be sweet, you know. But yeah, but I've just got that from him, and without him, I wouldn't be here 110%. I owe everything to my dad. Hence why I do what I do. That's my drive.
Yeah.
You know, is my dad and family.
That's cool.
To make sure they're going to be good one day. You know?
But I mean, you've got to convince him of things sometimes.
Yeah.
But do you think that's part of him, you know, just quietly testing you?
100%.
Yeah.
He 100%. I know what he's doing, but it still gets me. Even though I know what he's doing, I still have to prove him wrong.
Yeah.
But if he knows that, even I'll give you an analogy to do with this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I always had slow feet as a soccer player. Never had quick feet on the ball. And he'd get to the stage, like, man, you're looking pretty slow out there, son. He goes, I reckon you should just practice your ball skills and that. Got to the stage where my feet were literally too quick for my brain because I was wearing ankle weights and I was doing all these drills. But then it gets to the point, he goes, yeah, they look all right. They're not bad.
Yeah.
You know? I'm like, okay, not bad. Yeah, sweet. I'll go again. Yeah, but that's what he gives me.
Yeah.
Even till this day.
Yeah.
He'll go, what'd you do today? And I'll explain. He goes, oh yeah, not bad. So done nothing. That's all good. Like joke around. And then I'll go hard and make sure I'm designing or doing something, you know. But yeah, he definitely gives me that backing, and also he adds the fuel to the fire, knowing that I'll keep that fire lit, you know. Like I'll just keep going to make sure it happens. But yeah, I owe everything to my dad. He's the man, and everyone loves him. Shout out Geezer. He's the man.
Geezer.
Yeah.
Oh, I was honoured to meet him this morning. It was
that's what I wanted you to.
I was a bit concerned, bloody Pom serving you up tea, but thank goodness I'd had my coffee. No, he's a good dude.
Yeah, appreciate it, bro.
Yeah. Hey, 3 things that you're not good at.
3 things that I'm not good at. It's a hard asking me because pretty confident, my bro.
Yeah,
but
yeah, you are.
3 things that I'm not good at. That's a hard one, James. Maybe I'm still like coming to realize what I'm not good at. If I can name anything, it's being able to control my emotions better.
Yes.
When it comes to stuff.
Yes.
I'm known to have a temper and have these issues. To be better at controlling that emotion and using it the right way.
Yes.
In that split second that it's needed to be.
Yes.
2, scalability, for sure.
Yeah.
To make sure I'm scaling right.
Trying to know how to.
Yeah.
How to do that.
Yeah, and and then 3. I'm not sure, man. Personally, number 3, what could it be? I'm just trying to dig deep in here because we've got all the things going on.
No, that's all right. You're right.
Number 3, maybe sometimes I need to put myself first before others because I am always loving and caring. I think that sometimes it can be a gift and a curse.
Yes.
So many people who have been around that always give so much.
Yes.
But then they're so drained. They're tired, this and that. They've got no creative juices flowing because they've given it all to everyone else.
Yeah.
So it's just finding that fine balance of going, I'll give you so much, but bro, I've got to do this today for me.
I think, look, can I reflect on those 3?
Yeah.
3? I mean, I think they're, and thank you for being generous on them.
Yeah, you're right.
Because it's always a challenge to be asked, you know, what are you shit at?
Yeah, exactly.
But me, I've got a list a mile long, but I don't share it regularly. But I will share it today.
Yeah.
So the first one around emotions.
Yeah.
Right. And not necessarily managing those when you're put on the spot.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been very good at that. Right. I'm an impatient person.
Yeah, very much the same.
And you know, I don't suffer fools easily, and I just want to get it done. But over the years, and it's all relative around the speed of, you know, doing something or whatever. But over the years, you do, if you work on it, you can mellow that, right? And you learn that, you know, part of the journey is letting it happen.
Yep.
And just seeing how others react. And provided you've been open and transparent and you know, fair and reasonable, then then let others do the work. Don't always let your emotions do the work for you.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you how to suck eggs because I'm shit at it, right?
Yeah.
but it's really important.
100%.
In business, because sometimes in business you have a lot of stresses, a lot of strains, a lot of risks.
Yep.
And there's a lot of opportunities and successes, but it's a hard road.
Yep.
And emotion does play. Right?
Yep.
Scale, number 2. There's a lot talked about. How do I scale my business? How do I do this? How do I scale to here? You look. You have to surf Instagram at 2:00 in the morning to see, what other US influencers selling 5 tips to scaling your business. So to speak.
Yeah.
I'm not being, I don't want to be too negative about it, but it needs to be an incremental process, and there's no silver bullets to scaling.
Yep.
Right. But the key is building a base foundation of earnings that allows for opportunity on the upside with lower risk. If you don't have the base earnings, and sometimes those earnings take a while to get to a place where you're sort of confident.
Yeah.
Right? It's like building a house. If you fuck up the foundation, excuse the language, then, when you start going up, everything will go wrong. But if you get those foundations right, then the scale element, it works reasonably well.
Yeah.
The last one, what was the last one? I'm just trying to think.
Oh man, I was just listening. That was a lesson for me, so I was listening.
Oh dear. I kind of
giving too much to others.
Yeah. I read. Look. That you got to be selfish.
Yeah.
And selfish is not a negative word in my book.
Have you ever read the book, The Act of Selfishness?
No, I haven't. Maybe I should.
No, I've read parts of it and I was like, oh, maybe this is too much. But it talks about stuff like that.
Yeah, look, I firmly believe, I haven't read that book, but I firmly believe that selfish doesn't need to be a negative word.
Yeah.
If you're not feeling good within yourself, if you're not looking after yourself physically, mentally, in every possible way, then you're not going to be good at home or at work in dealing with the people around you or in dealing with the business decisions or personal decisions of your life. I'm a firm believer in that, and I've only really come to that view, frankly, in the last probably 7 years, and it would have stood me in a lot better stead had I woke up at your age and figured it out.
Yeah.
So you're going to be well ahead of me in that sense.
Well, it's just good to be around people that have that knowledge,
But it is I think it's a really important ingredient to success, right?
Yeah.
You've got to look after yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Because, you're the brand.
Yeah, of course.
You're the brains behind what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
And watch this space. Bombr Sneakers are going places.
100%, bro. I feel that, and I appreciate you, man, big time.
Listen, thanks very much for having us,
Bro, it's been awesome.
I really appreciate the chat, and I appreciate how generous you've been, and look forward to many more.
Bro, this is only the beginning, man. Only getting warmed up, brother. Appreciate ya. Thanks, James.
Thanks, bro.
Legend, bro.
Cheers.